And we are live. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Today is Sunday, October 8th. It is 1 p.m. And I am your host, Jason Leeser. Um, and Welcome to Skill Building Sunday here live on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted today. I'm prepping for this year's Paradise Gathering. So I apologize for the rough start. But welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are encouraged to join in these live streams, real world events, to share and inspire and ultimately create better art and tattoos together. We beam out nearly every day, and with your help, have evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on demand tattoo and art shows that have all been receiving rave reviews. You can find Reinventing the Tattoo in both of the app stores, the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, as well as our Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel, our Reinventing the Tattoo Roku channel, which has 12 to 15 different episodes going at any given time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as well as all of the major podcast directories such as Apple and Spotify. Or you can do what most people do and just search for Reinventing the Tattoo in your browser and you'll find it all, except for the book, which is still currently out of print, unfortunately. Maybe one day they'll make another run, but until then, check eBay, check everywhere else, check with other tattooers you know. Try to find a copy if you can. They're definitely worth their weight in gold. But no matter where you were watching live or on demand, you can always get the latest, greatest, most up to date information, all available at reinventingthetattoo.com. You can try it out for free. You don't have to subscribe. If you try it out for free, you have three different options. You can pick a sample webinar from the Reinventing the Tattoo canon, or you can get some free advice from Guy Aitchison about your unique goals, or you can take a comprehensive tattoo history course from Jay Brown, which is excellent, by the way. I'm a huge tattoo history nerd, and I have to say it is phenomenal. If you like tattoo history, if you like, you know, tattoo geeky kind of stuff, take a look. It's absolutely incredible. I highly recommend. You can also find a full event schedule with weekly and special event live stream details, such as today's show. If you wanted to join in, you could easily go to reinventingthetattoo.com, take a look at the live event calendar, and you'll find links to all of our live shows going on every week. At reinventingthetattoo.com, you'll also find a link to the Reinventing 24/7 channel, which is a lot like our Roku channel. It's got 13 different episodes playing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can also find a whole host of professional development courses on demand for purchase from over 20 world-class tattooers, such people such as BJ Betts, Andre Malcolm, Bob Tyrell. They all have seminars that you can purchase at reinventingthetattoo.com. If this is working for you, please let us know in the comments or in the chats, and please tag a friend who loves tattoos. Tag everyone you know that might be interested in becoming a tattoo artist or learning more about art or wanting to get their first tattoo. Tag them all. Never hurts to share the love. Um, we have a number of weekly staple shows we always encourage people to tune into, starting off on Sundays at 1 p.m. with me, Jason Leeser, and the Skill Building Sunday Drawing Group, where we try to hone and refine some of our skills, whether it's Procreate tips, tricks, and hacks, or maybe it's looking at lighting and value, or maybe it's looking at focus or different aspects of art and composition. We try to touch on something different, every week. Following today's show on Monday, there are four separate shows starting off at 9 a.m. Monday mornings with Drawing for Tattooers with James Wisdom, where we get to go through and get back to our core fundamentals, our basic drawing techniques and strategies. And it really helps refine us and remind us of where we came from being fine artists. Once again, that's 9 a.m. Drawing for Tattooers with James Wisdom. I try to hop on every chance I get. I'll probably hop on for a little bit tomorrow morning. It's a great time, great show, very educational, very informational. Lots of great people on there. Highly recommend it. Following Drawing for Tattooers with James Wisdom At 11 a.m., we have the Tattoo Weekly Show with Gabe Ripley, Lauren Gregory, and Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network. If there is something new or interesting happening in the world of tattooing, we're probably going to talk about it on that show at 11 a.m. Monday mornings, the Tattoo Weekly Show. It's literally the most current events dealing with the tattoo industry. And I believe they still do it every week. Following the Tattoo Weekly at 5 p.m., we have Let's Talk About Feelings with Robbie Ripple, where we have a nice safe space to go to maybe talk or vent or get some feedback or ask for different opinions from other tattooers. Sometimes, as we know, being a tattoo artist, we don't really have too many people that we can turn to talk about some of the problems that we face every day, whether it's, work-life balance, whether it's how to deal with problem clients, whether it's booking situations, strategies to become more successful, how to grow your brand. There's a lot of different ways that we can go through and utilize talking to someone else that's in this industry. And that's what they do at Let's Talk About Feelings with Robbie Ripple. Once again, that's 5 p.m. on Mondays. Definitely worth a shot. Following that, capping off Monday evening at 9 p.m., we have a subscribers exclusive drawing group with Sandy McAndrew. Sandy McAndrew is a Canadian tattoo artist. She's got loads of years in the field. She has been a part of the Reinventing tattoo staff for a very long time, way before I ever came along. And she is absolutely incredible. Highly recommend it. And that is only available for people that have a subscription to either the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon or the Reinventing the Tattoo Evolution course. I can tell you from personal experience, hopping in on those Monday evening drawing groups alone is worth its weight in gold. They are absolutely incredible. Each week, we try to focus on a different part of the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon, whether it's focus or contrast. Sometimes there's different challenges. Sometimes we'll do like a virtual or digital tattoo night, where we have to go through and use like tattoo brush sets to go through and create a digital tattoo. It's pretty wild. So every week there is kind of a new challenge, keeps things very interesting and very informational. Following that, on Wednesdays, we have the Tattoo Now show with Gabe Ripley, where we get to go through and dive into some more of the business aspects behind tattooing, whether it's how to increase your brand presence or marketing strategies, or maybe it's talking about international travel visas. These are all topics that get talked about at the Tattoo Now show with Gabe Ripley on Wednesdays at noon. Following that and capping off the week at Thursdays at 6 p.m., we have the Tattoo Collecting 101 podcast with Fawn Baker, where we get to go through and hear stories from different people about their tattoo collections and how they acquired their collections, and all of the really interesting, really fun stories that people have about their tattoos. We do have a special event coming up this coming week, starting on Thursday, October 12th, going through Sunday, October 15th. We will be live at the Paradise Gathering, and that is taking place in beautiful Jiminy Peak, Massachusetts. That's Western Massachusetts, up in the Berkshires, and it is going to be absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to reunite with a lot of my tattoo family. Bruno Salvatierra will be there, Renee Little, so many amazing people. I can't wait to go. I'm actually packing up most of my art studio to travel with me. We're going to have live collaborative artwork going on almost every single night. We're going to have a lot of seminars, and the seminar lineup this year is incredible. We've got people to present, such as Nick Baxter. He'll be there live in person, doing a landscape oil painting seminar, if I remember correctly. Corey Ferguson will be there. Gunnar will be there. Thea Duskin will be there. Andy Chambers. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Andy Chambers' work? He'll be doing a sleeve seminar, and I can't wait to take that. Lady Sarah will be there. Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network will be live in person doing his Find Your Style workshop for people that purchase a ticket. Tom Strum will be there. Andre Malcolm will be there. It is going to be an absolutely incredible lineup, and I cannot wait. Would like to go through and take a second to thank some of our sponsors and some of the people that make this show happen. Starting off with worldtattooevents.com, the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. They're constantly keeping everything updated and upgraded. As we know, living in this post-pandemic era, there are still certain tattoo events that are getting rescheduled like crazy. So if you want the latest, most up-to-date information about tattoo events coming to a city or town near you, or maybe it's one you want to visit, I know I always check out worldtattooevents.com before I travel to see if there's any conventions going on in the area. Take a look at worldtattooevents.com. Would also like to thank Tattoo Now, technology for tattooers. This is the leading edge in professional development, management, and digital tools for tattoo artists of all levels. They are 100% competitive and keeping everything upgraded and updated. They're competitive with any type of CRM, mailing list, or scheduling software out there. They do also build websites. If you wanted a brand new website built, this is exactly who I would contact. They have been leaders in the tattoo technology field for a very, very long time, and I highly recommend you take a look at them if you want the tools to get more people to come in to your studio that want to get the kind of work that you really want to do. This is the place to go to do it, tattoonow.com. Would also like to thank Guy Aitchison at guyaitchison.com. He is the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. You can go to guyaitchison.com where you can pick up a copy of his biomech encyclopedias, some of his tutorial DVDs. He's got some custom coil machines for sale, fine art prints, and occasionally some original oil paintings, all for sale at guyaitchison.com. Would also like to say a very brief and quick shout out and thank you, a personal thank you to the Apprenticeship Diaries with Amy Nichols. This is the #1 resource for people that want to achieve a tattoo apprenticeship, or if you are looking for information about what tattoo apprenticeships consist of, how do you know if they're any good, what should be covered, what shouldn't be done, that kind of stuff. Take a look at the Apprenticeship Diaries with Amy Nichols. It is a podcast available on Spotify and Apple. Would also like to say a very personal shout out and thank you to Tatcom and Aaron Williams, the mad scientist at Tatcom. These guys are literally diving in to the science of tattooing to try to understand how tattoos work and then develop tattoo technology and tools that allow us as tattooers to tattoo better, more effectively, and more efficiently than ever before. So if you're looking for the most cutting edge tattoo equipment out there, take a look at Tatcom and Aaron Williams. These guys are absolutely on a whole new level. We ask that you post positive reviews on the channel, help us get the word out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom of the page to make sure that you stay up to date with all of the latest shows coming out. So you get notified whenever we have more live events, which honestly, if I were you, I would definitely hit that because you want to be subscribed and get notified for all of the live events coming up while we are at the Paradise Gathering this coming week. If you would like to host a Reinventing the Tattoo event or become a sponsor of our community, or maybe you're looking for a fine art or a tattoo critique, you can always email management at reinventingthetattoo.com and we will get back to you just as soon as we can. And that kind of concludes the intro for today. We do have a special guest on here with us today. John Clark, a tattoo artist from Texas. Let's go through and we'll see if he is ready to join us. And let's see. Hey, John, are you there?
Yeah, here I am. How's it going?
It's going pretty well, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited, a little nervous, but very happy to be on here with you and be a part of your production today.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where are you from? How'd you get into tattooing? What's your background like? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name's John Clark. I tattoo here in Fort Worth, Texas. I've lived here most of my life, originally from Florida, but have lived here since I was a little kid. And I started tattooing about 20 years ago in 2003. Just kind of got into it the same way a lot of people do. You kind of have a friend that does it, and then became interested in it. I always had a interest in art in general, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with that. And I wasn't really attracted to the normal, maybe corporate world of art. And so kind of like the whole outlaw vibe of tattooing. And, just that was really attractive to me. My brother and I actually started tattooing at the same time. His name is Nick Clark. And we had a mutual friend who was kind of tattooing, and we just got, kind of into that. And he and I kind of came up together, started at a shop together. And yeah, that's pretty much where it is. Been growing with that. There've been a few different shops over the years. And he and I actually opened our own shop, Outlook Tattoos, about 3 years ago. So we're here in Fort Worth, just kind of doing our thing, and just, trying to be the best we can at it, really.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I have to summon my inner Gabe Ripley here.
Yeah.
Gabe's notorious for saying this, and I swear he needs to get it done as a tattoo. But could you do me a favor and go through and rotate your phone so that it's
Oh,
in
yeah.
landscape mode?
In landscape. Yeah. Yeah. Give me just a sec. Let me fix that up. If I can get that going here.
Gabe, you would be so proud of me right now if you're watching.
Give me
Gabe
just a
literally says that during, I think, every Zoom or every webinar I think I've ever seen him on. He's always telling someone, hey, can you rotate your phone or rotate your video? We want to get you in landscape mode.
Gotcha.
That's literally like one of his catchphrases. One of these days he'll get it.
How's that work?
Oh, perfect. Much better.
Perfect.
Much
All
better.
right. Thanks.
Awesome. So what kind of tattoos do you like to do?
I do a variety of stuff. I'm always, I have a wide variety of clients, and therefore a wide variety of requests. I take a lot of pride in being flexible and trying to cater to what they're looking for, as well as trying to find, my own artistic element within that. But yeah, I really enjoy all elements of tattooing. I do everything from your normal smaller tattoos and the writings and the symbols and things, all the way up to larger pieces. I enjoy illustrative type tattooing is probably my favorite, but I do realism as well, and portrait stuff, and just really a little bit about everything. I think that what I do that I feel proud about is that I'm able to try to offer a nice tattoo in whatever style the person is looking for, as well as still trying to maintain my own identity within that.
And that's not an easy thing to do. I haven't been in the industry quite as long as you have, but I still have a few years in it. And it's something that I've been picking up on more and more over the years, is that I think a lot of people end up starting to, go with the mainstream, like what's popular. And they're like, yeah, well, this is what I'm doing now and all that stuff. But I think in doing that, they kind of lose their identity, and they lose what it is that they really do enjoy creating.
Right.
Even if it's not the most popular thing, like I love Japanese work. I've been obsessed with it for years.
Yeah.
So I'm very drawn to that, but I'll still do American flags, wolves,
Right.
whatever people want me to do.
Yeah.
But it's maintaining your own personal identity in this industry. It's very difficult. So bravo, man. Bravo.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that can be challenging sometime. And I think that there's been moments in my career where, I've struggled a little bit with that, about feeling discouraged that I didn't have a more like identifiable, clear style direction. And I think that part of that frustration is it kind of subsides, but in general, I am really, in hindsight, especially proud that I've been able to offer quality tattoos for a variety of clientele, all walks of life, ages, and everything else. And I think that's really what I excel at, is being able to, um, it just tattoo a little bit of everything. When I first started tattooing, I worked in a shop where it was your normal kind of open to close, late night type of shop. We really didn't have the word no in our shop. It's like anybody that came in, we were going to tattoo them. And although that wasn't always maybe the most artistically stimulating environment at times, it definitely allowed me to learn a lot of different styles, and gave me, I think, a good, like, it allowed me to be more flexible, and kind of just go with the flow on that. And that's something in hindsight, I take a lot of pride at, because as I look through the work I've done over the years, and I rerun into a lot of the same people, because I've been tattooing in the same area for a long time. I'm tattooing generations now. I'm tattooing kids that came in with their parents and sat here while I tattooed them. So yeah, I take a lot of pride in the fact that I've been able to offer quality tattoos for a lot of different types of people, regardless of their taste. And instead of, you know, either having a more narrow focus on one particular genre, which I agree will allow you to, perfect that style easier. I think just being flexible in my own way is something that I'm really happy about, that I can offer.
Right on. Yeah, that's it's a little piece of advice I was given by someone that really helped me get to be where I am today. And he gave it to me back when I was just first starting, because I was talking to him. I was like, "Oh man, all I want to do is, like Japanese stuff and like bite on
Yeah,
neck and
yeah,
all
yeah,
this stuff." And he's like, "No, no, you don't. You really don't." He's like, "You don't want to pigeonhole yourself and only do that, because you will eventually come to hate it." He's like,
yeah,
because all he did was new school stuff. Like it was all like super crazy, weird colors
right,
and, super distorted perspectives and like outrageous proportions and sizes.
right,
And that is literally all he tattooed all the time.
right.
He's like, when I first started doing the style, I loved it, man. I couldn't get enough of it. He's like, I wanted to tattoo it every day, just like you. And, it's like, he's like, dude, after like 2 years of doing it, I was like, oh, okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, we'll do that too.
yeah,
And he lost his enthusiasm for it. He's like, I don't want to see you go through what I went through. So trust me when I say, man, diversify. Do a little bit of everything and you will never go hungry. And I think that's something that, as much as I can see the industry kind of starting to change and morph a little bit, where you have a lot of people that are starting to get into more boutique kind of styles.
right.
You have a lot more people that are focusing only on one genre. Congratulations, good for you. I hope that does it for you. Um, but when that style changes, if it
Yeah,
changes, you're going to be left behind because you haven't diversified. You know, you haven't
yeah, I
been able to
agree.
bounce around. So, I mean,
I
that's
I
my
think
own two
it's
cents.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think for me, I can only speak for myself, but um, it is there is an aspect to the job where, for myself, that although idealistically it would be great to be maybe always doing the most largest amazing pieces. I really feel happy about all elements of tattooing. Like I enjoy doing the little ones as well as the big ones. I've really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I feel that's something that I've grown with a lot, and really try to provide the experience that customer's looking for. So I would feel a little bit, I guess, a little bit sad if I wasn't able to have as many experiences with the different customers based on what they're looking for. And although it is great when the more elaborate pieces come in, or the more artistic type pieces where I'm able to put more of my own ideas into, or my own style into, I I'm really happy to do all of them. So I always feel like, even if I'm not necessarily doing the most creative piece or the most original, like mind-blowing style. I'm very happy to approach it from the technical aspect and do a really nice clean tattoo, and then to provide an experience for that customer, that they're going to enjoy, other than me necessarily being bitter or sad that it wasn't something, like a portfolio type piece or something. So and also in hindsight, it's just over time, that's something that I've been aware of is, seeing these people come back, over time. A lot of times what for me might be a fleeting moment, for them, they're going to remember that moment forever. So I've really tried to focus, especially lately, on trying to ensure that that experience overall is what they're looking to get out of it. And so for me, I really like to be open to all sorts of things instead of just being in my own little comfort zone. I like the challenges of different things, and sometimes good and bad. There's some tattoos I'm sure that I would have rather done, something else. But really, at that point, I'm focusing more on the technical aspect or the customer experience. Just trying to really recognize that, and yeah, be appreciative of the work that they're providing for me. So
Right on. Right
yeah.
on. So I take it you're in your studio today?
Yeah, I'm in my studio today. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, man.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
was
want to
gonna
show you
say,
the
man, I
bedroom.
love all the artwork on the walls. That's why I was
Yeah, we have a
asking.
lot of different things, collections of some stuff we've done and other artists that we love, or a lot of it's gifts or different things.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
way to stay inspired too.
absolutely.
I know whenever I get bored, I usually get up and take a quick stroll around the studio and look at some different stuff. And,
Yeah,
it's like we've got, I think in the studio I work at, we've got one wall that's like a lot of like abstract and biomech kind of stuff. And then we've got other walls that are very surrealist. And then we've got other walls that are even, different than that. We've got some prints done by Danko Basics hanging up. And that guy, I love his oil paintings.
yeah,
They're very refined, but at the same time, they're still very coarse. You can see the chunks of paint, even in the
right,
prints. It's amazing. So there's always different stuff around me to kind of be like, okay, well, if I'm not really that inspired to do something, let me go take a stroll. And next
absolutely.
thing you know, I'm turning around and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Okay. I got it now.
Yeah,
It's
I can see the customers when they're here. One, it gives them a good distraction, something to look at, right? But you do see them becoming inspired too. I see
right.
oftentimes where they might be looking around and make comments like, oh, next time I think I might want something like that. Or so I think just being surrounded by art, and we like to have a wide variety of things here. It's definitely inspirational. Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh man. So do you have any kind of like a fine art background? Are you mostly self-taught?
No,
Let's
I
go
I
into
did
that
your
a little bit.
normal. Yeah, I took all the classes I could in high school, and I didn't take any further education after that. Unfortunately, in hindsight, I wish I would have. I think it would have allowed me to progress quicker. But I think the majority of growing that I've done artistically since my career started has mainly been through um, just the experience of tattooing and the challenges of each new project. So yeah, I think mainly self-taught, especially after high school. I've done a few, you know, like a few like community college courses here and there, but nothing to completion enough to have a degree. It was always just like a little class here or there. Although I did go to the Paradise Gathering a few years ago, and that was great. We did a lot of, I hit all the seminars that time, so I'm looking forward to this time also to hopefully pick a few of those.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Yeah,
I've already got a couple that I'm signed up for. Um, I'm actually really interested to take Andy Chambers. He's doing a full sleeve design seminar this year,
oh, cool.
and I can't wait for that one. Just
Yeah,
to
that'd be
take a
great.
look at his approach, because he's got a very different approach to how he looks at the different visual planes and ties them all together. So I'm very excited for that one. I'll be doing Renee Little's landscape watercolor seminar. That should be a fun one. We're gonna hike to the
Yeah.
top of a mountain and paint, so that'll be a
Oh, that sounds
blast.
great.
I'm actually also hosting two presentations. I'll be doing one on printmaking.
Okay.
So all of the prints that people have hanging up in their studio and stuff like that, those have to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
What's the best way to go about getting started doing that? What are some of the things you need to know if you want to do them at home? Which I don't recommend, by the way, but I'll
Yeah.
get into that during the seminar. But it's one of those situations where it's like there's no real information out there on creating a really nice print or how to like properly sign an edition or anything else like that. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
that. That'll work. I'm also doing one on Procreate because I know that there are a lot of artists out there that use Procreate. There are certain things I've picked up over time that can really help kind of make things a bit more efficient. So I'll be covering that from basic beginner stuff all the way through creating your own brushes and like every step in between. So if anyone out there that's watching wanted to create your own brush sets, whether it's stamp sets, like you can get from Tattoo Smart, where it's like, oh yeah, you need a wolf head, boom, stamp.
Yeah.
There you are. There's your wolf head.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll be covering all of that. What you decide to do with that information is up to you. If you decide to create your own flash stamps and sell those to Tattoo Smart, make money off of that, more power to you.
Hmm.
I'm claiming a 10% royalty though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd definitely be interested in the Procreate one. That we use Procreate, or I use Procreate, of course. It seems like it's just become a normal tool, but it is kind of, it's a double-edged sword. So,
right.
trying to use the tools that are available, but not so much where I don't always want to take the shortcut. So I'm trying to still create things on there and not be too much cut and pasting, but
Right.
there's so much that Procreate has to offer that I really am just barely skimming the surface. So I'd love to be more proficient in that and be able to, especially for completed artwork or, those sort of things. But
Right.
yeah, I'm so slow on it. I've gotten like, your basic stuff, but yeah, like, I have no idea how to do the brush thing or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, it's not something that a lot of people do know how to do.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I would throw it into the presentation and cover that as well.
Yeah.
But once you understand brushes and brush settings, layers and layer attributes and stuff like that, creating, a solid work of art is pretty quick and easy.
Yeah.
Um, but it's something that not a lot of people really have the time to dive into. So I kind of condensed everything, threw it into a 2-hour presentation.
Cool.
It's tricks that, really help save me time. Um, so I figure other people might be able to go through and benefit from that as well.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
there's also going to be a couple of freebies and a couple of giveaways for each presentation. I'm not going to say what those are, but there will be freebies for people that do decide to attend. So I'm looking forward to that.
Super
Um,
cool.
yeah, I've got one freebie that I've actually been working on for a few years that I was debating on whether or not I wanted to sell, but I decided to kind of keep it to myself. But I'll keep that a surprise for now. But it's, it Procreates something I use almost every day, if not definitely every day.
Right.
Um, and there's a lot to it like a lot of features to it that a lot of people just, I don't know if they don't know where they're located or what they do or anything like that. So I thought I'd demystify the whole thing. Just show you, oh, this feature over here that you don't know what it does this. You
Right.
know, I remember sitting in a seminar with Russ Abbott. I think it was over quarantine, actually. Maybe it was right after that. He did a Procreate seminar to help benefit the Global Food Bank. It was hosted by Steph Bastian, and it was fascinating. But I was one of like 15 people that were in it, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty proficient already. Like I'm just here to like see what I can pick up from you, but like I'm
Right.
already pretty
Pretty
good.
good at it, huh?
And he's like, oh, okay, well, I don't know if you're going to get anything out of this, but feel free to listen in. And I did pick up one or two things that I did not know before, which was awesome. But even for people that are really super proficient when using Procreate, there's always a little trick here or there that you can pick up from taking a seminar that maybe you didn't know before. And that
Absolutely.
one little trick might make an entire change in everything in the way that you do everything. So
Yeah, I think the seminar that I'm resonated most with last time was I took Guy's like cover up seminar.
mm,
And although I mean, I did cover ups before, and I do so many different like cover ups or like what I would call tattoo restorations, so a lot of fixing up and things. But yeah, the way he approached the cover up and the concept behind, I still think about it every time I do it. So, it's like, I don't know how many years ago, it was quite a few years ago when I went before, and it's still something that I utilize every time I do the cover up in terms of like mental approach a little bit, so I'm looking forward to seeing what else they have to offer. And, yeah, you always take something away from it, you always get something out of it.
absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see. Rumor has it he's got a new cover up seminar that he's coming out with.
okay.
I don't really know how much I can really say about it. But I did make a few trips out there, and I did get a cover up done by him,
Hmm.
where I set up a whole bunch of different cameras and captured a whole bunch of
Cool.
different angles and really kind of tried to document the whole process, not just for me, because I want to be like, oh, dude, check this out. This is when I got tattooed by a guy. I've been
Yeah.
waiting 15 years for this. Um, not just for like that, but also to try to better understand his process and to
Right.
better understand, how is he using existing shapes? How is he using these areas that might be super, super dark? And how is he addressing that as far as an issue to achieve such a dynamic cover up with depth of field, with lots of vibrant colors and lots of highlights, lots of shadowing, lots of these textures that he's got going on everywhere. How is he achieving that when parts of the existing tattoo might be super, super dark? Right? That
Right.
mind blowing.
Yeah. It's really amazing how some of these things can be accomplished. And I really enjoy doing, I mean, I don't always enjoy doing the cover ups. Sometimes they're pretty challenging, but I do enjoy, the accomplishment of that and being able to, ideally when I'm doing a cover up, I'm trying not to make any compromises. I want the final tattoo to be as good as it would have been if it wasn't a cover up, and to not have it be qualified with the excuse of it's a cover up, And so when that goal is accomplished, it's very rewarding, and it's really great to see them, the customer be so happy that they had something that maybe they were ashamed of, or they've been embarrassed about forever, or it reminded them of something they didn't want, or whatever it was, or maybe they just don't like that thing anymore. But to be able to cover up in a way that I don't feel that it is a compromise, and at the end the end result is just as good of a tattoo as it would have been without the cover up aspect, it is great. And yeah, certainly I think that seminar in some ways really helped, mindset a little bit about that. So, and I when I came up and started coming up in tattooing, Guy was such a big force in that time frame, and was something that I always kind of like idolized and loved the work, and was always just blown away of what he was able to accomplish, with textures and lighting and perspective and all these different elements. And it was a little bit of like a geeky hero worship kind of moment to be able to like be in the class with him, and have him kind of like looking at what I did. And it was inspiring. So, a little intimidating, but very inspiring. And yeah, it was great. So I still think about that a lot, and think about like, what would Guy do? And like, what would he put here? So I think it's very worthwhile. And yeah, I've gotten a lot out of it for sure. So
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait for Paradise Gathering this year, man. So I actually have a couple of fun little like side projects and evening projects that I've prepped for that I'm going to be bringing up with me.
cool.
Um, I've got some ideas set up for a lot of collaborative artwork. So I actually have full bodysuit panels from every angle. So it's like a full bodysuit wrap around.
Cool.
So I'm bringing some of those up there with me for collaborative drawing. Hopefully, well, no doubt in my mind, we're going to come out with some pretty awesome stuff. But I have both male and female bodysuits, so we can kind of see dynamics there. I
Right.
figure we'll do, one night and one another night. And, you know, if we divide it up and we do like left panel and then back one night, and then we can do right panel and then front another night. It's going to be fun regardless, just to see what people come up with. But I'm very interested to see how this goes. And this is all kind of inspired by an art show that I'd eventually like to put on at some point in time, whenever I can kind of get back to focusing on that.
Yeah.
But it's a full bodysuit seminar. I've been obsessed with large scale tattoos since I was in high school. Um, Going back to Guy and his
Yeah.
influence on everything I do, I won't ever forget the first time I saw a Guy back piece. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? How this is like a fine art oil painting, but it's on human skin. Like, what is going on here? Right. And it blew my mind. Absolutely. I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't understand what I was seeing.
Right.
Right. And so that just help drive me to say, okay, well, if he's using the body in this way, what else can be done?
Mm-hmm.
So I started to expand off of that and get into that. And that it just became an obsession. Like there's nights where I would fall asleep thinking, okay, if a client came in and they wanted this kind of a tattoo and say they wanted it in their armpit, right? Like, how would that look? What would I have to do to make that work? And,
Right.
positioning and all that stuff. But that's just my own kind of neuroticism obsession. It's kind of sad, really.
Yeah. I think it's always ideal that, you know, I mean, there's nothing better than when the tattoo fits and flows with the body, regardless of the style, and trying to have that approach to things. And I know that's what makes the large scale Asian work so awesome is, working with the body shapes and things. And then to see the more modern interpretations from the styles that like Guy has or all the other amazing artists, to still utilize those body shapes and the flow and things. And those are things that I really try to be mindful of. And, it's always frustrating. Sometimes you see something, you're like, man, if they just would have fit it this way, like to respect that body part or whatever. But yeah, armpits, I think, are kind of a challenge item. They're always a challenge, right?
They always are.
Yeah.
I've tattooed a few of them and I kind of feel bad for the people that get them done, man. They're not a pleasant spot, but I think it can be, if it's done right and it's done well and the design complements the placement, I think it ends up phenomenal.
Sure.
Healing's always an issue because it's like, okay, well, guess what? You got to go a few days without deodorant now. Sorry about that, but you're going to be the stinky person.
Yeah.
You know, but it's always interesting. It's always fascinating just to see what ideas people will come up with for really, really weird areas.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Very
I mean,
cool.
that's my own kind of thing. I'm really, really excited for this coming weekend.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I went to Paradise Gathering for the first time. I think it was like 3 years ago for the Paradise BYOB.
Hmm.
Um, and it completely changed the way that I started to look at a lot of things. Granted, I was there, I was helping Gabe out, I was working at it, I was filming stuff, I was doing,
Hmm.
a lot of the tech background stuff. So he'd be like, oh, dude, we need help over here with this, go, someone's camera is malfunctioning over in this seminar room, like go over there and make sure everything's okay. So I would go over there and I would sit there and make sure everything worked well. So it was the first year I was there, I didn't really get to do too many of the seminars,
Hmm.
but the seminars that I did, I basically had to sit in on were fascinating. And I was like, oh, it didn't think of that. And I kind of feel bad. Like I'm here, I'm helping out with the tech, but like I'm kind of paying attention to the seminar as well. So it's like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But it completely changed everything. And I've tried to get up there every year since. And, it's been absolutely awesome. I've
Right.
made some great lifelong friends. So even just for networking and hanging out with people, it's a phenomenal place.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the change of scenery, honestly, too. It's such a beautiful spot, and I'm happy to be here at my home, but it's nothing like that. It's such a big change of environment, and not only the location itself and just the nature around is amazing. So I'm hoping to enjoy a little bit of that as well. And yeah, just kind of happy to get out of here for a little while and see all that. But it's so inspiring, and you definitely come back from that with a little fire under you and light it up a little bit. So it's these sort of things I think artistically or as an artist that you have to kind of do to keep from being stale. And yeah, the inspiration is probably the biggest thing that I get out of it. Absolutely. Any convention for that matter, but this one in particular with the you know, there's just so many artists that I look forward to seeing their work, and that I've been inspired by throughout my career, that it's such a treat for me to be a part of it and to be able to attend. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get all the classes in I can. Sure.
Absolutely,
So,
man.
yeah.
And staying inspired and staying, active and all that stuff, getting that fire continuously lit underneath you to really push yourself. It's something that every now and then, I'll talk to someone that I used to work with at, a different studio many, many years ago.
Right.
They're like, yeah, man, I just kind of like lost, the excitement for it. I lost the
Yeah.
passion for it, and it's like, well, you don't necessarily have to lose your passion for it. You don't have to lose that excitement. The trick is
Right.
finding ways to stay excited. I'm very much like you. Any convention I work at, it's going to light a fire under me.
Mm.
Any seminars I attend or any conferences I go to about tattooing or tattoo art or anything like that, I'm going to come back from that with a drive to turn around and say, I'm ready to go. Let's rock.
Right.
With
Absolutely.
all of this new information, it's like, yeah, I got a brand new set of like paintbrushes. It's like you can't wait to try them all out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So for me, I've been, taking seminars and doing this kind of stuff for so long that like I don't think I'll ever get burnt out. I was talking to a guy who, gave me some really good advice when I was younger in the tattoo industry. And he's like, yeah, man, after like the first 10 years, you'll get bored of it. Trust
Yeah.
me. Well, I'm 14, 15 years in now, and I'm even more excited about it now than I ever was before. So
Yeah. I don't, I think that, I mean, that's great for you to be able to do that and to find that, inspiration. It's easy to, I think, fall into to become unmotivated or to be discouraged or to lose your excitement about it. The, the job in general is such a, like, it's a, it's egocentric in a positive way, in a sense that, when you do good, you do bad, it affects you in a way. And I think for a lot of people over time, the the energy or the excitement about being creative or coming up with new things starts to weigh on them a little bit. They tend to kind of like stick with what they know, and it's hard to kind of push. It's just like learning an instrument. It's like you can play the same song forever and you might get tired of it, but you have to kind of challenge yourself with new ideas or new things, or in this case put yourself in a new environment and be inspired by the other artists around you. And yeah, I love that. That's something that I very much looking forward to. And I mean, guiltily I should do it more. I do often find myself, you're months in it and you're like, damn, I really haven't done anything. I haven't done anything to keep myself excited about it other than just day in, day out of work. So, you have to split it up and break it up. And yeah, this weekend is definitely going to be that for me. I get to go, I'll be tattooing there with two of my best friends, Sammy Lynn and Kelly Gormley. and
Nice.
used to work with them. And I got tattooed by Kelly originally, like, oh, I don't know, like in 2006, and since then had a bunch of tattoos. So he's somebody I grew up being inspired by, and then get to work with him, and now I consider him one of my best friends. So we're very much looking forward to having the experience with them, as well as meeting new people. Yeah, it's just a lot. It'll be quite a lot to absorb, and I'll spend the following week trying to like just soak it all up, I think.
You did say Kelly Gormley, correct?
Kelly Gormley, the great Kelly Gormley. Yeah, absolutely.
It, okay, so I really got to bring my A game.
Yeah.
Kelly Gormley, many years ago, um, did a guest spot at the studio I was apprenticing at.
Yeah.
And I was very upset because that was one of the few days when I wasn't at the studio. And he's actually friends with one of the local tattoo collectors in the area,
Hmm.
guy by the name of Bob Wise, who's got an unreal collection of artwork from everyone from Nico Hurtado and Bob Tyrell to Horiyoshi the Third. And,
Right.
he's got all kinds of artwork from all kinds of people. And he's like, man, you watch out, man. Kelly Gormley, he's the guy.
Yeah.
You can say, I want you to draw this, and he'll sit down and he'll draw you whatever you want. Like,
He can. Yeah, he
right,
can draw anything. Yeah.
snap your fingers and it's there.
Yeah.
And he gave the studio I was at a whole bunch of different sketchbooks of, this was back in the day when like tattoo sketchbooks were like the main source of inspiration, because Instagram wasn't
Absolutely.
really around yet. I mean, maybe Instagram was in its infancy, so like a lot of this stuff wasn't digital. So it was like, oh man, you got the new sketchbook? Oh, let me
Yeah.
take a look at that,
Yeah.
just to stay creative and stay motivated. And he gifted the studio some of his sketchbooks, man. And I just remember sitting down, flipping through those, like, how does he come up with this?
I know, it's
Like,
great.
how is it just there? So that's phenomenal. I had no idea he was going to be there. So I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little bit more intimidated now than before. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I we it was I think it was around '06, and he was doing a tattoo convention here in Dallas, and I was just a few years into tattooing at that point, and walking up and down the aisles, and saw a lot of great things. But when I came up to Kelly's booth, I was just blown away because everything looked so unique and dynamic, and I liked, he's able to animate any object, and so I got a tattoo from him then, and then subsequently probably 10 more times at different conventions and at the shop when he actually moved to Texas and worked with me at a shop. And yeah, it was great. And so he definitely inspired us. And I got those sketchbooks and brought them back to the shop, and everybody was blown away. And we all, just love those, and we're heavily inspired by it. So it was such a fun thing to be able to actually work with him and spend so much time with him. And he's a great guy. Yeah, really, really nice. And he's got a lot to offer, and I just love his style. So yeah, I got tattooed by him. I think last time it was a year ago at the Tattoo Collectors Expo here in Arlington, Texas. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of those shows I really want to get to.
Oh yeah, that's
I
great.
hear the Collectors Expo is just
It's
phenomenal.
fantastic. Yeah, Sam's put on a great show there, and she's just a great artist and a great person, and the show just really reflects that. And seems like a really good thing. You should definitely come. Yeah, it's in the summer here in Arlington.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure how far away Arlington is from San Antonio, but I may actually make a dual trip. My uncle actually lives out in San Antonio. I
Oh,
was
okay,
born in Houston, so
cool.
I
Yeah, it's
was
about a 4 or 5 hour drive, I think, from San Antonio, but
still
not too bad.
no,
It's
not
worth
at
it.
all.
Yeah,
Probably a nice easy drive too. So
yeah,
while I'm out
it's a
there,
great show.
maybe I'll visit a few other tattoo artist friends that I have. Maybe I'll go hang out with Nick Baxter.
There you go. There
Um,
you go.
I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, and this is what I love about the tattoo community as a whole. You can meet one person from one place who knows someone that you've met a long time ago that,
Hmm.
and it's like this instant web of people gets drawn, and it's like, oh, well, okay, well, this person knows this person and who knows that person. And, it's just awesome how everyone is all connected and they're all drawn together by this one thing.
Right.
It always inspires me, and I always find it fascinating, like just to hear people's stories about getting tattooed by other people, what experiences they've had, what they picked up from this person, or maybe they
Hmm.
picked this up from another person, or maybe they took a trip out to visit Philip Liu and got tattooed by Philip Liu. And,
Oh, I would still love that. Yeah.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
so crazy thing is, two of my good friends that I actually met, I think it was last year at the Needle Jig meetup, which took place instead of the Paradise Gathering last year. Um, Actually, both have like bodysuits done by Philip Liu, and they
Cool.
work out maybe an hour and 15 minutes away from me. So they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you should come with us the next time we go. It's gonna be a great time. Like, we can just hang out and draw and paint, while so and so's getting tattooed. Like,
Yeah.
and Philip will come over and join us later." And I'm like, I don't even want to take up that man's air. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
breathe that air because I know he needs it. Like,
Yeah.
that's, but that's also, I fanboy out pretty hardcore.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
it's kind of silly, but I'm kind of known for it. It stinks, but yeah, I do admire a lot of these people, and sometimes just meeting someone and talking to them light a fire. I love it. But yeah, I mean, every time I've been down to Texas has been absolutely amazing. People
Right.
down there are awesome. Um, just very good, genuine people. I
Yeah.
love it. Um, yeah, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
People in the Northeast, sometimes not so much. But fortunately I've got a pretty good radar for that. But it is what it is. There's good people everywhere in the world. You just need to know what to look for.
Yeah. At these conventions, I always find myself a little bit maybe shy or intimidated when it's somebody that I want to talk to or go say hi to. And I've never had anything but great experiences. Everybody's super positive and super welcoming. And I've never had anything to really justify that feeling other than just myself feeling that way, on my own. So
Right.
something I try to keep in mind. I'm like, well, they were probably in the same spot at me at one point. They're
Right.
always, most people are very humble. And I find really honestly the more elevated the artist is in terms of their work or their like the regards that they hold, the more humble and nice they really are. So in general, it's easy. It's just kind of do it. But yeah, I'm always still a little like shy standing there, like I can't believe it's this person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to be cool about it, but yeah, everybody's always really nice and welcoming and encouraging, and which makes sense, I guess, because they obviously have the ability to do whatever. So,
Right.
but yeah,
Right.
Philip Blue, I never got to meet him. He's in Europe, right? So it's
Yeah.
you gotta go to like
Switzerland.
Switzerland or something, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe one
Small
day.
little town. It's apparently really a journey that you have to take. So it's
Right.
not like you can just fly to his town. He lives in a very small suburb. So
I
you have
imagine him
to,
like I imagine like the top of the mountain, and you have to get the pebble from his hand, kind of thing.
yeah, right.
Like
Pretty
right,
much.
bring the bucket to the top.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you're going to go all the way to the bottom of the mountain, fill this bucket up at the river, walk
right.
it all the way back up the mountain, and then you
Yeah,
get like a seed, right?
yeah.
Like
I imagine
this
it's something
magical
like
seed.
that.
Um,
Yeah,
it's yeah, but I've been very privileged in life and been able to meet a lot of really phenomenal artists from all over the world. They all put their pants on one leg at a time in the morning.
sure.
Some wear shorts instead of pants, but that's
Right.
whatever. But it's always fascinating just to hear how humble they are and how appreciative they are for the admiration that they get from other
Right.
people. You know, they're
Right.
like, listen, I'm just a dude. Like, I'm just a guy doing tattoos. I'm not anything crazy special. Like, you
Right.
could do this too. It's not, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I know
Well,
you got to get running. I know time's running out for you. Today's episode is going to be a little bit short. I do still have quite a bit of packing to do.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but thank you very much for jumping on today. It's
Yeah.
been
Thank you
a
for
pleasure
having me.
talking to you. I can't
Yeah,
wait to meet you up at Paradise. It's going to be a
absolutely.
blast. Yeah, and we'll get together, man. It's going to be a good time. I'm actually splitting a condo with a couple of people from the Fireside Tattoo Network. So
Cool.
I know we're going to be doing card games after hours and stuff like that as well. So
That sounds
um,
fun.
I'm bringing Cards Against Humanity with me if anyone needs like an art break from
All
like
right.
art overload. It's like, cool, let's go play a few rounds of Cards Against Humanity and we'll see whose mind's the most twisted, then get back
Well,
to art. So
I look forward to it. And I really appreciate it, Jason. And yeah, can't wait to meet you in person.
likewise, man. Thank you very much for jumping on today. It's
All
been an
right.
absolute pleasure. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And I will see you at Paradise Gathering.
Yep. See you all there. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care.
Take care.
For everyone out there that might still be watching, thank you for joining us today. If you want to join in maybe next time, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me. My Instagram is right up here. It's Philly Inc. If you liked today's episode and you wanted to go through and catch up on the rest of them, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. And I will see everyone next weekend. I will be live from Jiminy Peak, Massachusetts for the Paradise Gathering. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. Keep those hands busy, keep everything moving, keep that fire lit. And I'll see everyone again next week live here on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network.